This was the moment Kristi Noem basically lost her job earlier this week. Listen to this exchange.
I'm asking you, sorry to interrupt, but the president approved ahead of time you spending $220 million running TV ads across the country in which you are featured prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it correctly. Yes.
He did.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. And Trump, of course, would know it's not true.
Yes.
Okay.
As a lawyer, I see her demeanor and I say, I think she's lying. I'm going to play a little bit of that again.
Prominently.
Yes, sir. We went through the legal processes, did it correctly.
Did the president know you were going to do this?
Yes.
He did?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay.
And one thing, Senator, I think would be helpful to know is how effective that communications has been. That
well, they
overwhelmingly
were effective in your name recognition. I mean, I personally just, I mean, to me, it puts the president in a terribly awkward spot. And and I'm not saying you're not telling the truth. It's just hard for me to believe, knowing the president as I do. I'm asking you.
And there's a bad scent to all this ad campaign stuff because it looks like some of the money was spent either with friends of hers or with maybe a significant other. It was put together in a very quick 11-day period. It was a lot of money, $220 million. So the whole thing basically stunk to high heaven. And that, I think, is what got Trump really mad enough to fire Kristi Noem and replace him with Senator Markwayne Mullin. And Kennedy was asked about Markwayne Mullin after the announcement of the change, and this is what he had to say.
The president, when he called me Tuesday night, the night of the hearing, when he was mad as a murder hornet, he asked me what I thought about Markwayne, and I said, A, I like him. B, he's very smart. C, he's a very good businessman. And D, if I didn't believe the things I just told you, I'd lie to you because Markwayne would whip my ass.
So Markwayne would whip my ass. If you don't know, Markwayne Mullin was previously an MMA fighter, mixed martial arts fighter, undefeated. So Markwayne Mullin is not a guy I'd want to be throwing hands with. It's guys with those kinds of capabilities that are why I carry a gun for personal protection. Robbie Starbuck notes here, Kristi Noem was always my least favorite pick in the administration, mostly because she shot a dog and wrote about it in her book, A Farm Dog, but also due to the photo ops, which got embarrassing. I just hope Markwayne Mullin has a spine and does what must be done. Mass deportations. I have my doubts, but I'll pray for his success. He's pretty tough on immigration, at least when he's talking about it as a senator from Oklahoma. He's pretty tough. By the way, Oklahoma, all 77 counties in Oklahoma voted for Trump, every single one of them. In 2016, in 2024, and even in the stolen election in 2020, every county in Oklahoma went for Trump. Now, I'm a little nervous about this because I don't really follow Oklahoma politics. I believe the governor gets to appoint Markwayne Mullin's replacement, Senator Mullin from Oklahoma. If he takes the DHS job, he gets replaced. I think the governor gets to appoint him. I'm told the governor may be a rhino. So we may get a very weak replacement, whereas I think Markwayne Mullin is very much an American first senator, and it's not like Trump has all that many senators to play with on the margins, but we'll have to see how that works out. Of course, Kristi Noem does the usual thing. When she got fired, by the way, they did it in the classy way. They promoted her into they made up a job. They made up a job for her. So Kristi Noem speaks out, thank you, Mr. President, for my new role, not for firing me, for my new role, for appointing me as the special envoy for the Shield of the Americas. Secretary Rubio and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth are incredible leaders. I look forward to working with them closely to dismantle cartels that have poured drugs into our nation and killed our children and grandchildren. In this new role, I'll be able to build on the partnerships and national security expertise I forged over the last 13 months as Secretary of Homeland Security. Okay, whatever. I wonder how much substance there is to that job. Really, really. A little more in Markwayne Mullin. This is how Alexander Muse covered it on X. President Trump named Senator Markwayne Mullin DHS Secretary. Mullin becomes the first Native American. He's registered as a Cherokee with the Cherokee Nation. The first Native American to lead DHS as Kristi Noem moves to Shield of the Americas envoy. By the way, who would be more sensitive to the risks of allowing aliens into your nation than a Native American. You think the Native Americans think back and like, man, we really shouldn't have let those white people in. We really should have stopped them on the beach. And so few people know the risks of allowing alien ethnic groups into your nation and do the Native Americans. President Trump has appointed Senator Markwayne Mullin to serve as Secretary of Homeland Security. Mullin, an enrolled citizen of the Cherokee Nation, becomes the first Native American to lead DHS in U.S. history. Current Secretary Kristi Noem will transition to the make-work job of Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas. Let's hear Senator Mullin talk about this. I got a few clips. A few clips for those of you who may not have seen him before.
Secretary? No, the president, I still got to communicate, so we'll talk about it moving forward. But I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, the president, I've already talked. Obviously, the statement went out, but we need to talk with the president, and we're going to get on the same page and do what we need to do.
Do you want to
DHS?
When did you
make changes at DHS?
when did you find out, sir?
A little bit before you guys did.
Do you want the job?
Any changes?
Senator, did you expect this?
Let me, guys. I'll talk to y'all before. Let me go.
Do you want the
So this all happened very, very quickly. Here's a more hopefully substantive clip than that one.
And I think there's a lot of work that we need to do, and I'm excited about it.
Senator Fetterman says he's going to vote for you. Do you expect other Democrats to vote for you?
John already texted me, and of course, you guys know John and I are friends too.
So John Fetterman, Democrat senator from Pennsylvania, John Fetterman, has already announced he's going to vote to confirm Mullin in his DHS role. The only sane Democrat in the Senate, John Fetterman, the guy who had the stroke, remember? His wife basically campaigned for him. He still shows up to the Senate wearing sweat clothes. That guy. But I mean, the more I see of Fetterman, the more I like him for sure.
And so, I don't know. We're going to try to earn everybody's vote. I want people to understand, when I go into this position, yes, I'm a Republican, yes, I'm conservative. But Department of Homeland Security is to keep everybody, regardless if you support me, if you don't support me, regardless of what your thoughts are. I'm here to enforce the policies that Congress passed. And right now I'm part of it, but once I make that transition, my focus is to keep the homeland secure. That's going to be my focus, and we're super excited about this.
Well, the only way to do that, of course, is mass remigration. Here's another clip.
Yeah, time I've spent on the border, one of the frustrating things is I saw the drug cartels and the human smuggling networks. They were using encrypted Chinese apps to do their communication. Right. And that's the kind of training and things that the military, along with the Border Patrol, it has to deal with, not only on the southern border, but also on the northern border. But it also has to do with human smuggling and dealing with the drug flow that comes across. We know where the fentanyl comes. It comes in large part from China through Mexico.
And Jason, let's not forget the water too. It's not just land crossings, but it's going across the water, going around. It's overwhelming. Our Coast Guard, the Marines are able to augment that. We're having to have a lot of more sea power that you probably wouldn't see when you're thinking of just human smuggling and drug smuggling. It's literally an all-out attack. This is why President Trump has made it a high priority. He is the guy who's going to save America from imploding from within. And the reason why I say that is because President Trump has made it a focus, and he's also trying to improve our diplomatic relationships with Mexico. He's offered.
All right, so just an indication, a strong, powerful ally of Trump. Now, this is an interesting exchange here. This is from a little while ago, but he was participating in a hearing in the Senate, questioning a union official, and it got contentious. And the union official told Mullin, hey, you know where to find me, tough guy. Any place, anytime, cowboy. And Mullin responds, sir, this is a time and a place. You want to run your mouth? We can be two consenting adults and we can finish it right here. Remember, undefeated MMA fighter.
Quit the tough guy act in these Senate hearings. You know where to find me. Any place, anytime, cowboy. Sir, this is a time, this is a place. You want to run your mouth? We can be two consenting adults. We can finish it here.
Okay, that's fine. Perfect.
You want to do it now?
I'd love to do it right now.
Well, stand your butt up then.
You stand your butt up.
Oh, hold on. Oh, stop it.
Is that your solution?
No, sit down.
That's Bernie Sanders.
You're a United States Senator.
Quit the tough guy.
So I think that's promising. And who do the Democrats have? Who do the Democrats have? We talked recently that Jasmine Crockett lost her primary bid to become a senator and for the Democrat spot to run for Senate in Texas. The guy who won is this guy. It's this guy. He's unbelievable. James Tallarico presents himself. I think I've read that he's gay. I'm not sure that's true. It wouldn't surprise me. He presents himself. Well, they call him here the gay preacher. Democrats thought Texans would love because he's white and Christian. Is ashamed of being white. Since this guy won the primary for the Democrat primary for the Senate run in Texas, oh my God, he's got like 15 years of insane posts and videos on X. They've been digging them up all over the place. Listen to this guy.
For me, prophetic voices like Jesus have helped me reckon with my own whiteness, my own masculinity, my own certainty, my own ego. It's a never-ending process, and it's a painful process.
He has to reckon with his whiteness and masculinity. Is that a compelling message to be elected senator? Right now, he's a representative in Texas. Clay Travis notes, James Tallarico, Democrat nominee for Senate, testifies while wearing a mask, of course, that there are actually 6 genders.
I want us all to be aware of is that modern science obviously recognizes that there are many more than 2 biological sexes. In fact, there are 6, which honestly, Representative Hefner surprised me too. Surprised me too, because I am not well versed in this issue area. I'm not a scientist. I'm a politician, a lot worse than a scientist.
Just like Ketanji Jackson.
That modern science obviously recognizes that
there's 6 genders. There's 6 genders. Which of the 6 genders is Tallarico? Stephen Miller asked. Nobody asked him, which gender are you, my friend? And this is one of my favorite ones of Tallarico. He writes, the story of Mary is my favorite story in all scripture. He thinks that Mary consented to bearing Jesus. Mary consented. Mary had to give her permission to God. We only have Jesus because a woman consented to creating him. The story of Jesus begins with a simple, extraordinary act of feminism.
So there's a speech by abolitionist Sojourner Truth, 1851. And in that speech, she talks about her own clash with the religious patriarchy. And she says, that little man in black there, meaning preacher types, that little man in black there, he says women can't have as much rights as men because Christ wasn't a woman. Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with it. I love that. That's Sojourner Truth. Jesus didn't just come from a woman. Jesus came from a revolutionary. Mary's story is possibly my favorite story in all of Scripture. An unwed peasant girl living under an oppressive empire brings God into the world. And when she does, she sings a song of revolution. She says her act of creation will scatter the proud, bring rulers down from their throne, lift up the lowly, feed the hungry, and send the rich away empty. She says her act of creation will bring freedom into the world. But if her act is to bring freedom, it has to be done freely. And so in the story we just read together, the angel of God tells Mary that she, a powerless woman, will bring the power of the universe into existence. And then Mary, in what may be the first recorded verbal consent in human history, says, behold, I am the Lord's servant. Let it be done to me as you say.
So he's making the argument that Mary consented to carrying Jesus. No, the angel told her, this is going to happen. This is God's will. And she said, all right, then. Guess I'm doing that. The craziest part of the clip is how he just completely makes all this up. At no point in the Gospel of Luke is the word consent mentioned. Archangel Gabriel appears to Mary, says, it's God's will that she will conceive his son. And Mary replies, let it be to me according to your word.